Good day. My name is Richard Ako. You might as well call me Nana Kwesiajiman or Ammonia. Ammonia is the nickname, and you can find me on YouTube under Ammonia 84 or Richard Dako. Ammonia 84 or Richard Dako. I'm talking about the AFCON today. Nigeria versus Tunisia will be kicking off very soon at 11. From Canada time, it's 11. I don't know where you are, so I don't know your time, what it will be. And I will talk about the Premier League a little bit. But back on the AFCON, for the AFCON, I noticed one thing about the AFCON for this year's tournament. The officiating, I don't know about you, but the officiating to me is not up to standard. It's not good. It's not good, especially the games against Mali and Morocco, Tunisia against Nigeria, Egypt against South Africa. No, officiating is not that good. It's not that good at all. I'm talking about Nigeria versus Tunisia. Boy, the penalty awarded against Nigeria. No, it's not good. It's not good. Algeria against Burkina Faso, for instance, the Ghana referee, my compatriot, Ani I, he should have done better because it's not good. Officiating is not good. Nigeria against Uganda today, they're playing. The match marks the only second ever meeting between Uganda and Nigeria at the AFCON. That's adding extra significance to an already high stakes contest. Yeah, they met at the AFCON in 1978, Ghana in 1978, at the semi-finals. Uganda beat Nigeria 2-1 at the semi-finals in 1978. Remember, Filippo Mondi, he scored the first goal for Uganda, and Martin Oyo equalized for Nigeria, and Filippo Mondi again scored the second goal for Uganda. Nigeria couldn't equalize, so the game ended 2-1 in favor of the Ugandans. Nigeria goes into this crash as the firm favorites. In fact, per the matches they've played, they played wonderful football. They are favorites for this tournament, not just this tie for the tournament itself. Together with Ivory Coast, their favorites. That is from the first two matches I've seen. Yeah, they are firm favorites to win and to qualify from their respective groups. Uganda, on the other hand, is at third with just 1 point from two matches and must win to keep their tournament hopes alive. Believe it or not, overall, Uganda holds the better record against Nigeria. Yeah, Uganda have won 4. Nigeria has only won 2, and one game has ended in a draw. Yeah, Uganda are unbeaten in their last 3 encounters against Nigeria. That is, Uganda have won 2 and drawn 1. Though the Super Eagles' experience and quality are expected to pose significant threat to the Ugandans. I remember the first time they met was in 1978, as I told you. Uganda won 2-1. 1981 was a friendly match against Uganda. Again, Uganda won 1-0. Yeah. 1992 qualifiers for Tunisia 1994, which happened in 1992. Nigeria won 2-0. Daniel Mokachi and Samson Sasia, they scored the 2 goals for Nigeria in 1992 for 1994. The return leg was a 0-0. Yeah, return leg in Kampala was 0-0. 2007, they met in the AFCON qualifiers for Ghana 2008. Nigeria won 1-0 and Uganda won 2-1. Yeah, I remember Denis Oboa scored a penalty in the 53rd minute for Uganda on that day, 2007. And 2015, at Oyo State in Nigeria, Uganda beat Nigeria by 1-0 in a friendly match. Yeah, and the 2018 they played another friendly match. It was 0-0. So you could see the record. The Uganda they have the record. They have the stats. Yeah, they have won 4 to Nigeria's 2. Uganda is therefore unbeaten in 18 years against Nigeria. Yeah, and for Nigeria too, they are 10 years unbeaten. You know, between from I think 2015 when they drew 0-0 with Uganda. So that is that for Uganda and Nigeria. The records favor Uganda, but form guide, reputation, experience, everything favors Nigeria. I'm going for a Nigeria win. If the Uganda wins, it will be a surprise. Even a draw will be a surprise, especially, particularly this tournament. The way Nigeria is playing and the way Uganda is playing, I don't think Uganda has a chance against Nigeria. And then we are talking about DR Congo versus Botswana. Yeah, this will be the first AFCON encounter between the two sides. The first encounter between the two times. But this will be Botswana's first AFCON match against a team outside West Africa. The previous encounters, all of them, they were against West Africans. Remember, they have been to the World Cup, the Nations Cup 2 times, 2012 and this year. Yeah, they have met all West African opposition. They met Ghana in 2012. They met Ghana, Mali, and Guinea in 2012. In 2025, this year, they've already played against 2 West African oppositions. That is Senegal and Benin, and both of them they have lost. So this will be the first time they are meeting a team from outside West Africa. Between DR Congo and Botswana, it is the 6th meeting between the two. That is, they have met 5 times previously. Botswana are winless. It means they can win against DR Congo. Or in the other way around, DR Congo has never lost a game against Botswana. Yeah, in open play. Yeah, DR Congo has not lost a game against Botswana in open play. DR Congo has won 2 matches and drawn 2 matches and 3 matches. You have 3 of the matches have ended in a draw, and they have won only 2. The sides previously met in 2004 AFCON qualifiers. For Tunisia 2004 qualifiers, where DR Congo won the first leg 2-0 in 2002. Yeah, and the return leg was in Gabon was a 0-0. That helped DR Congo qualify for Tunisia 2004. All three matches were 0-0. No scoring draw, only 0-0. Yeah, and DR Congo, as I told you, Botswana cannot score a goal against DR Congo. They've never. So today, if Botswana scores, then the player who scores will become the first player to have ever scored against DR Congo. Yeah, their most recent encounter was a friendly international on June 2017, where DR Congo won 2-0. Botswana have never scored a goal in 5 encounters against DR Congo, as I told you previously. The field will see Botswana as a second nation to after Benin, to have lost 6 matches at the AFCON. Yeah, it will become the second nation after Benin to have lost its first 6 matches at the AFCON. Remember, in 2012, they lost to Ghana, they lost to Mali, and they lost to Guinea, right? And this year too, they have lost to Senegal already and lost to Benin. So if they lose today, if DR Congo beat them, whatever, 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, whatever scoreline that they get, they will be the 6th team. The second team to have won 6 consecutive matches at the Cup of Nations at the AFCON. DR Congo have drawn 15 of their last 26 matches since 2013. DR Congo have drawn 15 of their last 26 matches since 2013 at the AFCON, more than any other side in that period. Yeah, and if you remember, Cedric Bakambu, he scored his fourth goal for DR Congo. He's only behind Bukani. Yeah, Bukani have 5 goals, and Mayanga has 6 goals. And the first one is Mulamba Indai. He has 10 goals. Mulamba Indai in 1974 was a player who scored the winning goal for DR Congo against Zambia. Remember, the finals went to a replay, and before the replay, it was 2-2 against Zambia. DR Congo scored 2, and Zambia scored 2. We couldn't find a winner, and the DR Congo goals was scored by Mulamba Ndai. There was no winner, so a replay was necessary. Zambia and DR Congo met for a replay, and the replay, Mulamba Ndai scored 2 goals for DR Congo to win the 1974 AFCON. So that is that for DR Congo and Botswana. Benin versus Senegal. Benin played Senegal, West African nations, 2 teams. The sides have met once previously at the AFCON finals in 2019 tournament, where Senegal edged a tight quarterfinal encounter, 1-0, courtesy Idrissa Gana Gueye. Yeah, they met before at the AFCON. Idrissa Gana Gueye, he gave the Senegalese a 1-0 win over Senegal in the quarterfinals. Remember that tournament? Benin never won a game in that tournament, but they made it to the quarterfinals. Just like Mali this year, they never won a game. They drew against 1-1 against was in Morocco. They drew against Zambia and drew against Comoros to qualify to the next stage of the competition. Yeah. Overall, the teams have faced each other 9 times. Senegal have won 7 times. Benin won, and 1 drawn game. In fact, the last time and the only time Benin won against Senegal was 1961. That is a long time ago, 64 years ago. Yeah, Benin won 4-3 against Senegal. That is the only time Benin has won a game against Senegal. That is a very, very long time ago. Senegal are unbeaten in the last 8 matches against Benin. In that process, you can see it. Senegal has won 6 and drawn 2, and has scored at least once in each of their 9 encounters with Benin. So this game, expect a winner. Expect somebody to score more goals, and I am leaning towards Senegal with their firepower, with their brand of football, with the intensity they bring to the AFCON. The only clean sheet in this feature has been recorded by Senegal. Yeah, it is the only Senegal who has recorded clean sheet in 4 separate 1-0 wins. Yeah, 2 international friendlies in 1984, 82, 24 and 2002. Yeah, the teams have were paired in the first round of qualifying for 2002 World Cup, Korea, Japan, and the first leg ended 1-1. Senegal secured a 1-0 victory over Benin. So that is that. Benin versus Senegal is straightforward. I don't think Benin will have a say in this game. Yeah, that is my belief. Senegal will win. Sudan versus Burkina Faso. The Falcons versus the Stallions. Sudan comes into this match with fresh confidence after a tough 1-0 win over Equatorial Guinea, held by a second half own goal from Kuku. I think Kuku, yeah. That result has given them a significant boost after they lost 3-0 to Algeria in the first leg. The Falcons of Jedians may not be one of the favorites to win the AFCON tournament. Yeah, they are not one of the favorites. I think the last time they won the AFCON was 1970. Yeah, but they have proven that they can compete at the continent or continental stage. Yeah, they can compete. Burkina Faso, on the other hand, had 7 game unbeaten streak, broken in a narrow 1-0 victory by Algeria. That was the game I was talking about officiating. I didn't like I didn't like the officiating in that game. No, I didn't like it at all. Especially when the Ghana referee put 4 minutes at a time added on. Yeah, it's 4 minutes time added on. 2 players had a head crash, and so they delayed for 2 minutes. So I think it's 2 minutes or over 2 minutes, and exactly at 4 minutes, the game's over. Yeah, I didn't understand. I didn't understand him at all. I didn't. Burkina Faso are currently second in the group because of a better goal difference, and are still favorites to qualify. Yeah, with more experience at this stage and a solid squad, Coach Brahma, is it Brahma? Brahma Trolley. I don't know how to pronounce the names. Remember, I am Ghanaian. I am English. I am not French. I don't speak any other language apart from Twi and English. So, excuse me for that. Sudan and Burkina Faso have met once in the AFCON in Equatorial Guinea 2012. I hope you remember that game. Sudan won 2-1. Yeah, Sudan won 2-1. It was very surprising in Equatorial Guinea. In Group B, I'll give you a little bit of just alongside Group B, they were in Group B with Ivory Coast and then Angola, Sudan, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, or La Côte d'Ivoire and Angola. Yeah, it was the second one, the last round of matches, just like today. So, Burkina Faso had already gone out because they were on 0 points. Sudan were on 1 point. Angola had 4 points, and Ivory Coast had 6 points. Ivory Coast had beaten Burkina Faso, yeah, already in that game. So in the final match against Sudan, it was a win for Sudan. Sudan had to win, and they won. Thanks to Mudata Karika. Yeah, Mudata Karika. He scored the 2 goals for Sudan, and then Wadrago. I think it's Isiaka Wadrago. He scored a other 1 goal for Burkina Faso. So that is that for today. Burkina Faso versus Sudan. We are waiting, but even though history favors Sudan, they have won one before. I am leaning towards Burkina Faso because they are too strong. They are too strong to get out of this stage of the competition. So I'll be leaning towards them. With Algeria versus Equatorial Guinea, that will be a very tough match. Equatorial Guinea, on records, historically, they are a good side, but at this tournament, they are just being whipping boys in their group. Algeria beat, Burkina Faso beat them, and Sudan also beat them. So that's that for today. See you tomorrow. Bye.